I went out with my husband and something happened which inspired this particular live series. All right. Now sit down, listen, and we are going to learn together. If it is your first time on my channel, my name is Mrs. 𝗟𝗲𝗦𝗃𝗧𝗏, and I welcome you into another episode of Life Unscripted series. In this series, I share with you how you can actually become a student for life over academic session in order to achieve optimum success. This is because life is unscripted and it only takes your discipline to take a pen and a paper to write or rewrite your script. So, are you ready to actually write? Let's engage and be able to bring you light into how you can be able to write or rewrite that script. All right. So, like I was sharing with you, I went out with my husband the other day, and as we are passing by, I saw bricks. For the very first time, I've actually been hearing of bricks, bricks, bricks. And bricks are very, very strong. And one of its benefits that I do love and I admire most is that it's so security bomb to the point that even if let's say there is a gunshot, it cannot be able to penetrate. That's the amazing thing. This is because it is very strong. It has been able to build resilience, and I'm going to share with you why. So when I saw one that looks like a block kind of color, right? And I asked my husband, why wouldn't they just carry the bricks like that? Or bricks doesn't have different colors. Why don't they carry those bricks like that? Why must they go through fire? He said that when bricks don't go through fire, they are not strong enough for its relevance. And so that was a great inspiration. See, you shouldn't be the only one here. If you're watching a replay or whatever place you're watching from, I appreciate you because the moment has come. All right. Tag that to your friends, your concubines, your parents, your guardians, because it's time to become a student for life. Why should you pay attention to it? Because everything about life that you need to navigate life is all around you. You are just not paying attention because you are not a student for life. And so when I paid attention to what he was saying, first thing that happened that when it goes through fire, it not only hardens, but it's also refined, right? And next thing is that it will no longer come out as the color of blocks, normal blocks, but it will come out as a color on its own that is more like an orange color. So why must the brick go through fire to be able to be relevant of what it is called for its purpose? Right? It is because every single time you have an intention, one of the major things that you need to understand coming out into the space is that disruption must follow it. And that is when you go through that pressure because you know what? Character is built in tough times, not in good times. That is why those people you see successful today had to go through a lot of rejections to build resilience. And so, if you do not understand the discipline that comes out of you going through pressure, you will be asking God when, you will be praying, God, why me? And those things are so unnecessary. That is not how God taught us to pray. He told us that when we want to pray, we say, our Father, hallowed. You acknowledge God and you say, your kingdom come. That is how He taught you to pray. He didn't ask you to ask Him why. He didn't ask you to ask God when. That is not the system of prayer. So when you have those type of prayer, it means there is something about life you do not understand. It means that you're not paying attention to the patterns of life that helps you to be able to build that thing that you have the great intentions about. One of the things is that people are not going to believe in you when you start. That's the point. It happens to everybody except you're not paying attention to the story. Everybody that has a glory, when you look at their story, you see their seasons of pressure, the season where they had to go, when they had to be squashed. That is what happened to gold. For a gold to be refined, it has to go through fire. For that, it has to melt, it has to go through process. And those seasons of pressure are what solidifies you into the space. That's what makes you bold. That's where you build your confidence. That's why I always tell people that no, you need a lot of no's if you want to build resilience. If you are not ready for the no's, you are not ready for resilience because resilience is a character of the successful. You want to be resilient, you have to make the conscious effort to go through pressure. It is time for you to understand that. Because champions, they don't do what they like, they do what they hate in order to get what they like. And so that is why we are building confident global champions, because we understand the power of pressure, the role of discipline that the pressure brings into our life to help us stand and seize our moment in our global stages. We don't just want to be a global voice without knowing how best to seize our moments. And what is one forms for global voice is at the pressure that we go through in order that we are refined to be the best voice to listen to. So you want to be that voice. You see, what I'm sharing with you is what a lot of people will not want to go through. Everybody wants the success, but they don't want to go through the process. So the beauty of pressure is when you collect rejection, you will even smile at people who are rejecting you because you have gotten to a point whereby you have built a lot of value that whoever that says no to you have saved you a lot of time. But my question to you today is, are you willing and ready to embrace the beauty of pressure? It's not far-fetched. Even in your Bible, when you read Acts of the Apostle in a very closer look, you will see that even Peter, those apostles, they were going all out of their way, regardless of persecution, regardless of disruption, regardless of every battle that came to them. They gave themselves, their life as a living sacrifice to even die because of God. How many of us are willing to go through that pressure for God's name's sake? You said that you are a Christian. How many of you are willing to go through the pressure of rejection? There are so many evangelists that are not even encouraged just because whenever people see them coming to preach the word of God, they run away, even if they know what they are saying. So one of the things that you need to understand that pressure is part of life. Rejection and problem is part of life. And as a matter of fact, every promotion it will open you up to a new level of frustration. Just for instance, you made a first class, you want to get a job. So the moment you make a first class, there is a lot of expectations. And you have to go through process to be able to get through that. So you don't just make a first class and sit down. You make a first class and upscale. You make a first class and get out of the way to go and be able to project your values, to defend that which you have on that paper, right? Because beyond your credentials, you have to prove yourself credible. So it's not just about the credentials. You have to be credible as a person. So you don't just want to make a first class, you want to be the first class. And how you be the first class is going through the pressure to become the best, because it's not about who is first, it's about who is best. So you want to be that kind of person. Be ready to go through pressure. A lot of people wrote 2025 goals, right? We all wrote amazing resolutions. We have a lot of things. But you ask them, how many of you are willing to go through the challenges that will spring you up to these opportunities you have written about? You will no longer see any hands. So understand that that new promotion you are seeking for has new challenge. And that challenge is that pressure and that season that you need to be able to get refined in order to embrace that opportunity. Because what you want to become, right? Who you want to become, right, is at the mercy of the discipline you need to apply to embrace the opportunity of that thing you intend to become. So those things you want to achieve responds to who you have become. And who you have become demands a lot of pressure and challenges that you are going to deal with to refine you in order to embrace that opportunity. Are you ready for this game? Right? That is why we are building confidence global champions. Most of us are finding it very difficult. They are so undistracted. They are so undistracted. And that is why we are bringing structure, we are bringing clarity, and we are helping you build competence in the right sequence in order that you become a global voice, in order that you become a confident global champion. And if you are struggling to be able to come into consciousness of what it is really, or coming into consciousness of the clarity of this, or why you are going through a lot, that you are going through a lot, and how you can be able to make beauty out of those seasons of your life, it's time to type CGC in the comment section. It's time. Or click the link in the description of my channel if you want to have one-on-one conversation with me. If you're watching on Facebook, click the link on my bio. Let's have that conversation and change the game here. I can't wait to be able to share your testimony to the world. And don't ever forget that life is unscripted. You only need the discipline to take a pen and paper to write your script. And so it is time for you to take that discipline, because pressure is part of the game. Problems is part of the game. The validity of every business right? The existence of every problem is what makes every business valid. Go and check anywhere. If you don't have the problem of confidence, I wouldn't be selling my product. And so look at all other business that exists is actually to solve a particular problem or provide solution. So understand that pressure is part of life. But if you don't know how to navigate pressure, type this in the comment section, or you click the link on my bio if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the link on my description, right? And we are going to have that conversation that helps you become a confident global champion. It is time to seize your moment. It is time to write your script because life is unscripted. And of course, thus we are coming back again in the next series, in the next episode of Life Unscripted series, which teaches you how to become a student for life over academic session in order to achieve optimum success. You too can actually do that. And I still remain your friend and your go-to-get edupreneur and networking strategist, Mrs. 𝗟𝗏𝗦𝗃𝗧𝗏. And until I come your way again in the next episode, do not forget that it's time to live the life you are proud of and not the one people recommend. Till then, I'm going to see you on the other